Google Camera. Man, I'm doing this after a very long time, talking about Gcam port for a smartphone. Now, a few years back, Google Camera was very effective. It was practically magic. It completely changed the experience of using a smartphone, especially in terms of the camera department. But nowadays, Google Camera is not that effective because brands are focusing on image processing, and almost every brand out there knows what to do in terms of the camera processing. But still, Google Camera can help you click better photos in specific scenarios and specific ways. I mean, the magic of Google Camera is still there. So hey guys, Harsh here and welcome back to Technolope. Today we're talking about Google Camera for the Moto Edge 50 Fusion. Now I have been using this smartphone for the past couple of weeks. It has a good camera. The camera app is also very good, but the experience can be enhanced by installing Google Camera. I tried a bunch of Gcam ports on this smartphone and then finally landed on the right one. It's super easy to install, which we will talk about towards the end of the video. Right now let's go ahead and compare images from stock camera application and Google Camera and let's see what the differences are. First difference that I want to talk about is color consistency. Colors are more natural and consistent in the images from Google Camera. I'm going to give you two examples over here. First one is this image with a beautiful bright orange color. Here Gcam has done a better job in terms of representing the color and also the exposure. Next up is this photo of my jacket. It is blue color, but for some reason the stock camera application made it completely gray. On the other hand, Google Camera kept it as it is. And same thing goes for exposure as well. Images from stock camera application are slightly overexposed, but on the other hand, images from Google Camera have a natural exposure. And the exposure thing is common across cameras. Basically, the stock camera application is keeping the exposure a little on the higher side. Now, as far as dynamic range goes, I'm going to say both of these applications are doing a good job in terms of dynamic range. Shadows and highlights are exposed in a good way from both the applications. What about white balance? Well, here's where Google Camera is again more consistent as compared to stock camera application. Now, while we're on the subject of white balance, Google Camera is acting kind of weird in terms of ultra wide angle photos. So whenever I was clicking photos with the ultra wide angle camera inside the Gcam app, there would be a green tint in the photos, and this green tint is very prominent in HDR plus enhanced. If I switch to normal HDR plus, then the green tint is lesser. So if you have a Moto Edge 50 Fusion and are going to use this Google Camera, then make sure for ultra wide angle photos you switch to HDR plus. That will give you a better experience. Now obviously you can fix the green tint very easily by just going into the edit options and turn the tint slider towards right slightly and it will be fixed. So it's a pretty easy fix that way. But yeah, overall in terms of the ultra wide angle camera, sometimes the stock camera application is better and sometimes Gcam is better. So the results are kind of here and there. It depends upon the shooting scenario. Now what about portrait mode? Well, in terms of portrait mode, I would prefer Gcam because of the natural exposure. So as I said, the exposure point is valid across cameras and it is valid in portrait mode as well. What do you guys prefer in terms of portrait mode? Let me know in the comment section down below. What about low light photography? Here's where I think Gcam is doing a better job as compared to stock camera application in terms of exposing the image. Stock camera application sometimes will get the exposure on point, sometimes it will be overexposed, and sometimes it will be underexposed. Basically, it is not consistent in terms of exposure, and same thing goes for colors as well for low light photography. So overall for the main camera, this theme is common, that the stock camera application is not consistent, whereas Gcam is more consistent. Next point is selfies. Now here I think you already know my answer. I definitely prefer selfies from Gcam over stock camera application. Reasons: exposure and skin tones. I find them better in images from Google Camera. So yeah, for selfie camera, Gcam is going to be my pick. Now I tried shooting videos from this Gcam port, but the experience was not that great. Oftentimes the app would crash, and this is common with Gcam. Gcam is definitely more for photos and not for videos. So overall, installing Gcam is like giving a free upgrade to your smartphone in terms of the camera experience. If you are a person who likes to click a lot of photos, then you should definitely install Gcam, and it is working really well on the Moto Edge 50 Fusion. Also, you can try other Gcam ports and see what works best for you. The Gcam port that I've used in this video will be linked in the description box below. You can go ahead, download that Gcam and straight away install it. There is no setting to change, there is no config file whatsoever. Just install it, start using it, and you will be good to go. And I will also drop a link to the website from where I find all these Gcam ports. Even you can try different Gcam ports and get different features. So yeah, this was a very quick video about Google Camera on the Moto Edge 50 Fusion. Do let me know how you feel about this video in the comment section down below. If you liked what you saw, then hit that like button. If you found the content worthwhile, then subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. My name is Harsh Punjabi and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.